You have entered the Plumbing Business Success Zone, teaching entrepreneurs the business of plumbing. This is Potty Talk Live, recorded live on Facebook every week. Type 5 in the comments to subscribe to the show. And now your host, Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber.
Hey, plumbing pros, how you doing? And welcome to the 208th episode of Potty Talk Live, where we're taking into the trenches, the crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths, all around this big, beautiful world of ours to talk to plumbing professionals just like you. Welcome. I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, sitting behind the golden MDP microphone today. Hey, we got a great workshop edition for you here. We're going to be figuring out what is it that you're really selling with your plumbing business, all right? And I'll give you a hint. It ain't plumbing, all right? We're going to be talking about that and getting to that. Hey, it's great to have you on here. The lovely Laura is in the house as well.
Hey, honey.
Sweetheart, we here? We made it?
We made it.
Had a little bit of technical difficulties here on this for this episode.
We did.
But we're getting it done. Doing all right?
Trying to here.
Okay, all right. Hey, it's always something. That's just how it is, okay? There's always something. But hey, it's good to have you here. If you're watching live, type live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, type replay so that we know that you've been watching. If you're listening to the podcast, you know what to do. Just keep on listening. Hey, also do us a favor. If you're catching us on YouTube, hit the little subscribe button, all right? Help us out. Help us get the word out as well. So I appreciate it. All right. Hey, we got a great topic, workshop edition here. I got my whiteboard over here. And we're going to be discussing what is it that we really sell, okay? What are we selling with our plumbing business? And of course, I just want to let you know too that, hey, what we're talking about here today, we go in great detail, all right? And stuff you really got to know. Hey, if you're serious about growing your plumbing business, all right, hey, you need to check out my $1 Million Plumber Success Academy. In there, we go over everything you need to know to have a successful, self-sustaining, and very profitable plumbing business. And right now, I got a 14-day free trial for you. So I really, I just want to make it so, hey, there's nothing to be afraid of. I want to make it risk-free, okay? So you feel like, oh, let me just, you got nothing to lose, okay, except success. All right, so hey, simply type success in the comments or go to themilliondollarplumber.com/success and grab your 14-day free trial to the $1 Million Plumber Success Academy. All right, check it out. Hey, but it's good to have you here. All right, hey, we got some watching lives.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Jody.
Watching live. Hey, your partner, I guess we saw that the baby's being born today.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Pray everything's going well there.
Yeah.
All right, look forward to pictures.
Hey, Elizabeth.
All right. Elizabeth's in the house
couple.
watching live. Good to have you here.
Hey, Thais.
Thais. All right. Good to have you in the house as well. Good to have you here. So, hey, join us.
Okay.
All right. Hey, but we're talking about what are you really selling with your plumbing business? You got anyone have an idea? Give you a hint. It ain't about plumbing. You heard that? It ain't about plumbing. The lovely Lord. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea what you're
are
going to
we
say.
really selling?
But you do have some Success Academies members watching right now, so maybe
Okay,
they'll
we
answer
hit this,
the question.
We hit this right off the bat, okay, in module number 1, because it all leads to knowing what you're really selling, all leads to truly being able to create what we call an honest hourly rate, okay? And I say honest because you're really not being honest, certainly to yourself, if you don't really know what you're selling, okay? And if you're not being honest to yourself, you're also not being honest to your customer, okay? And you're not being very fair, okay? So if you don't know, if you don't have a correct or honest hourly rate, okay, it ain't very fair. So to do that, we got to know, to be able to create our hourly rate, we need to know what it is that we are selling.
Okay, we need to kick one member out of the Success Academy.
Okay. Is the week starting off that rough already? You feel like you're selling your bodies? I tell you, at times, yeah, you do feel like you're basically selling your body. But that's not the goal of your plumbing business,
No,
to be selling your body or your soul, okay?
Right.
All right? All you need to do is to be selling, this, and this is what we're selling. And again, it ain't plumbing, so it's not water heaters, even though it can feel like, it's water heaters. Well, that's what they're calling me for, the water heater, is leaking, or, it's not stopped up drains, okay? We're not selling stopped up drains, drain openings, or, we're not selling toilets and toilet repairs and all those kinds of things. That's not what we're selling, okay? I tell you, other successful industries, okay, and businesses know what they're selling. Okay, for example, right now we've got baseball season. This example I like to use, baseball season.
Okay.
Okay, baseball, what's baseball selling? They're selling baseball, right? Not. They're not selling baseball. They're not selling hot dogs.
We have a star member of the class, the Success Academy, that has answered the question. Do you want to see it?
You want to bring it?
Sure.
Okay, bring it.
Yep. Mr. Terry Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy, time. Exactly, we're
Ding,
selling
ding, ding.
time.
A+, Terry.
To finish my my baseball example here, let
Okay.
me bring the board over here a
Okay.
little bit. We'll do a little writing on the board. Let me
Sure.
get things in place here. Can we see that? Is that all right there?
There we go.
Okay. To use the baseball analogy, in baseball, they're selling seats. Okay, seats to the games. Okay. Football is the same way. They're selling seats to the game. Okay. In the more in the merchandise area of things, like the stores and that kind of a thing, okay, they're not selling seats, okay, like Walmart, okay. Walmart's not selling groceries, deodorant, all right, peas, corn, all right, underwear, okay, TVs, whatever they're selling, that's not really what they're selling. Of course, that's what's there, okay, but they're selling square footage, okay. Now, with our plumbing businesses, okay, we're not selling seats. Okay, we're not selling square footage, but we are selling, just as Mr. Kennedy said, we are selling time. Okay, we are selling time. And specifically, we want to get that time down to hours. We are selling hours. Okay, so that's what we're working towards. So you got to know how many hours that you have to sell annually. Okay, that's how we figure up our honest hourly rate. Okay,
Right.
and it's all your hours. Okay, not just the hour that it took you to do the job. Okay, but you got to account for all your hours. Okay, so we got to know how many hours that we have to sell in a year, that our plumbing business has to sell. It's that simple. Okay, and that is what you're selling. In fact, that's one of the biggest hurdles or understandings that we got to get over, and that I even work with our our clients. Is just getting that into that understanding and feel comfortable with that. Okay, all right. Is that we're selling time. Okay, and hours,
Hey, Bobby.
not plumbing stuff. Even though the whole day, what does it? Bobby had to say hello.
Instant plumbing repairs.
Instant plumbing repairs.
Where you
Hello,
out of,
how you
Bobby?
doing? All right. Okay, we're not selling instant plumbing repairs. Okay,
I
plumbing
think
of any
that's the name
kind.
of his company.
I know.
Oh, okay.
It's a cool name. All right, instant plumbing repairs.
Out of?
Out of? Where you out of, Bobby?
Did we ask him that last week? No, I can't
I'm
remember.
sorry.
We've
Okay.
slept since then.
But even though that's what we're doing, and especially when we're starting out and we're neck deep in, we hope, and all this plumbing repair work and installations and those kinds of things, okay? But that's not what we're selling. We are selling time, okay? So you got to know how much time that your plumbing business has to sell. If you don't, you're going to die.
You're gonna
okay?
die.
It's that plain and simple. You got to understand and know how many hours that you have to sell. And everything centers around that, okay? That's what you're selling. And oh, by the way, we're doing faucet repairs, installing new water heaters and that kind of stuff. But you are selling time. Know that. All
That's
right?
right. Southern
Believe
California.
that. Live that. All right? Breathe that. And you'll be successful, okay?
He's out of Southern California. We
Southern
did
California.
Yep.
All right.
Did ask him that
So-
in inland.
So, Bobby, let's take a look at this. Let's kind of think. How do I figure out how many hours I have to sell in a year? Okay, not just the job hours.
Anybody wanna
that kind of-
guess?
Okay. All right. Well, let's take it. We got to. So how do we measure time in a year? Well, first of all, we look at how many days do we have in a week? We'll look at days. How many number of days in a week? Okay. So we got to determine that. How many days are in a week? So you can determine that. All right? And on that note here, and when we're figuring this time, imagine that you're standing, and again, we go over this in depth, okay, in the Success Academy, okay? But I just want to at least want you get thinking.
Thinking a little different.
Right, in the right way. But you want to imagine if you were standing in front of a judge, okay, and you had to defend how you're coming up with how much time you have to sell, okay? So when you're in a court of law, the court looks at things kind of two ways, really. What's the law, okay?
Christy knows exactly how many hours.
And
She
why?
has to, and
Because
why?
we've gone right through it all.
Because-
We're done, right. Okay. So, but the court's
A
going to
plus
look at what's
Christy.
the law, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and what's precedent. Meaning, in this case, we'll kind of look kind of what's the standard. So when you're looking at these things, how many work days are in a week,
Mm-hmm.
and what's kind of normal, okay? Maybe not-
5.
right.
Right?
5, right.
Oh.
That's the kind of,
you weren't
we're
looking
gonna
for the
numbers.
answer
We want
yet?
to talk
Okay.
numbers.
Oh.
But that is right,
Okay.
like 5, okay? Next you want to look at, how many days.
But Mr. $1 Million Plumber, I'm open 24/7.
That-
Right? So what do I do with that?
That's swell, but that's not standard, okay? All right? You want to look at kind of what's normal. What's normal business operating hours,
Okay.
Not what you've been doing, okay? To figure out for the amount of time that you have to sell.
Okay.
Because time, we're going to wind up taking this time, these hours, okay, and using that along with what our expenses are and what our growth expenses are and our profit, and that's how we're going to come up with our honest hourly rate, okay?
Okay.
And so when figuring out time, this is one place that you want to be conservative, okay? And so that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. You want to be conservative in this area, all right? So we're trying to get down to hours here, but we'll start by, with our
Jonathan.
kind of our time measurements that we have to deal with. Let's, figure out how many days, that we have in a week and the work days, how many weeks in a year, okay? That's something we have to consider, okay? We got to consider, again, we've got some days off, number of days off, okay, that we're not working. That's time we're not available to sell.
Terry's saying 243 days. I'm assuming that's how many days he has a year. Is that right?
That might be right, right?
Okay.
Okay, that's about right. So you're going to subtract how many days off that you have. Okay, so that's vacation. So you got to look at what standard vacation, sick days. All right, holidays. Okay, what holidays are off that we don't work? Because that's time we don't have to sell. Those are hours that we don't have to sell. So we want to take that in consideration. Okay, and that's going to come down to an idea of, and that's probably what who put up 243. Terry, that's about right. I bet that sounds right, and I'm kind of going off what I've done for years. But by the time you figure out how many days a week you have, and weeks in a year, and days off, that sounds about right. Probably about 243 days. Okay. But next, we want to kind of turn all that. We're trying to get into hours, right? That's giving us days. Okay. But we want to get into an hour figure, okay? So we have this day figure, but now we want to figure up, how many hours, that we work in a day, okay? And again, that's kind of what's normal. You want to look at what's normal, all right? Not maybe what you're working now, all right? Is it standard in our society to work 16 hours a day? No. Working 9 to 5, that kind of thing. All right. What's standard? Again, kind of if you had to defend this and you're standing in front of a judge, what seems to have precedent and what's normal. Okay, and that's where you want to come up with these numbers. So now, we need that. How many hours that we have working a day? We need that figure. Okay, and that's going to wind up giving us, how many total work days in a year that you have. Okay. Have to sell.
Hey, Gordon.
Okay.
Hey, Nick.
Now that's based on, we have that set of hours. That's if this kind of maybe one truck. Remember, you may have multiple trucks. You may have 2 trucks that are out doing service. It's kind of like you go to the supermarket and there's multiple lanes. Okay, you can get more groceries, get more customers through. All right, the grocery
Monday,
store
Nick.
gets more money running through by opening up more lanes more quickly, right?
Right.
Okay, well, it's like your truck. Your truck's a lane. Okay, all right.
Or like a car bay, like at a auto shop, right?
Right, exactly. A car bay, and that's what they're selling. That's a great example, sweetheart.
Thanks, honey.
All right.
I'm kind of a
the
genius
mechanics.
sometimes.
Yeah, you are a genius. All right. You got us on here today.
I did, and somehow
Okay.
30 minutes
All right.
late, but
All right, you should have seen it before we went on here. It was wild.
It was
okay?
wild.
Technology.
gotta love it.
No, you don't.
No,
I
you
don't.
don't.
All
I
right.
hate it.
So, but the mechanic example is a great example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they're not selling the parts. They're selling time. They're
Right.
selling the same kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, an hourly rate. And now there's bays. Okay, So the more bays they have, the more time they can sell. It's the same thing with you.
The more trucks you have.
So the more trucks you have, the more time you can sell. So we got it down to, you know, a figure here, annual available amount of hours that you have to sell, okay, by one, okay. Now, you know, how many trucks do you have, all right? Number of, all right, trucks or vans, okay, service vans,
Right.
all right. So now you're going to take that and you can multiply that by the number of trucks you have. And that's going to give you the amount of annual hours available to sell, okay? But here's the thing, another thing you got to consider, we have to consider here. Do you think you're going to sell all those hours?
Gosh, I hope so.
We would like to. In our dreams, we'd like to. But there's just a reality we don't, okay? There's just, there's lost time. Hanging out, you know, having to be at the supply house, going back on warranty jobs. You know, guys taking more time to travel from job to job. There's just lost time, okay? Meetings, that kind of stuff, okay? So we just don't sell all of our hours. There's, you know, the stores, you know, the Walmarts and the Targets and all that, call that, you know, lost inventory, okay? We're going to have lost inventory as well, okay? And then that's our hours. So we just don't sell all our time. So you got to consider, you know, what's the percent of hours you're going to sell, all right? I'll just write percent of hours sell, okay? So that's something you have to consider. Again, this is stuff we go over in the academy. There's calculators there. We walk you through it and how to figure this, because you got to know this kind of stuff to know, to truly know what your fair, honest hourly rate should be. And the main part of this is knowing what you're selling, okay, and how much of it you have available to sell.
Wonder how many of the academy members or even our coaching clients who are watching were surprised when they went through this exercise, you know, and what they thought about it and stuff. You know?
Yeah, anyone want to speak up on that?
Yeah.
On how they felt about it? You know,
because it's just a new way of looking at things.
Right. It's a huge way of looking at things. Look, for the first 4 to 5 years, we struggled just like everyone else we talked to with our plumbing business, because my mindset was on, I'm selling plumbing. I'm selling plumbing. I'm selling plumbing. It wasn't until I realized through a mentor, business mentor, that I learned that I was selling time and how to figure that, okay, that things took off for us, okay. Once you get, it's amazing what this does, okay. All right.
Chrissy says this is gold bars, not even nuggets.
There we go. It's a biggie. It's gold bars for you. All right.
Right.
Appreciate that. This is where the gold's at. Okay. Because this is what you're selling. This is the gold. Time is gold. Okay. So you gotta know how much time that you have available to sell. That's how much gold you have to sell. And we get into also in the academy. We talk about how you multiply. You can create time. You can create time out of nowhere. All right.
Terry's saying his hourly rate doubled.
Yeah, brother.
Doubled.
Doesn't surprise me.
Right.
It does for all of us. You know, because you realize really how much time you have to sell, that you truly have to sell, and you figure your hourly rate based on that time of what you're really selling and how much you have to sell. Then we get into really what our honest hourly rate is. Doing it by any other method, you're cheating yourself and your customer. The bottom line, that's what's happening.
It's true.
And if we're just looking at this as we're just selling plumbing, again, that's why, you know, we say it, 95% of all plumbing businesses fail. And one major reason that they fail, they don't realize what they're selling. Not at all. We think we're selling plumbing.
Right.
And so they're just, you know, crashing and burning, and that's what's happening there. And of the 5%, you know, that's left there, 97% are just living week to week, paycheck to paycheck. All right, one step up, 2 steps back. You feel like that? Reason why is because your hourly rate is not based on what you're really selling. You don't know what you're selling, which is time. It's amazing how quickly you get to realizing what you're really selling, and base your hourly rate on what you're really selling, how all of a sudden you can start working your way up, okay? And so this is very, very, very important. Making a profit.
Crazy.
It's a profit deal.
It is a profit.
Right?
It's supposed to be a profit deal.
If you're not making a profit, it's a what?
Hobby.
It's a hobby. all right?
Stop
And if
it.
you're not making a profit, all right, if you're figuring your hourly rate based on anything other than time, what you're really selling, you're busy dying.
Gonna
Okay, so
die.
I know we hear it all the time. Well, I just got my, I'm feeling it. Just I kind of been around and kind of know, have a feel for things, and that's just kind of the going rate. Nope, you're busy dying.
Yep, Tyson, I'm so happy for this. Couldn't imagine still being in business with our old hourly rate.
You can't.
Yep. And you think, when you think there's no way I can raise my hourly rate, there's just no way my customers aren't going to pay it. 100% of our clients who have done that say they rarely get pushback.
Right.
And they're actually making a profit now.
Right. And you can handle, look, no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. Have you ever heard me say that before? Okay. For my private clients, and certainly those also in the academy, I say it often. Because it's so true. No one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber. So they don't want to spend any money on plumbing, okay? No one, so $50 an hour is too high, okay? But we're not selling, we're not selling plumbing.
Nope.
And that, again, that's why we talk about this in the academy and go over it in length about, who our right customer is. And, residential service, it leads that direction, is the right customer because they're open to value. Their time has value. That's
Right.
what they're concerned about. Their time, that's the most important thing to them. And they're willing to pay for their time. And you can charge them based on your time that you have to sell.
It's
okay?
just an exchange of value.
It's very,
right?
That's exactly right.
I watched all the
You
academy
should.
stuff.
You've watched them all?
Watched
yeah,
them all.
Yeah, I know you
I've watched them numerous times, yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. It's an exchange of value, okay? And in this case, the win-win scenario is exchanging one set of time for another person's time, okay? And so if you're involved in that exchange, you got to know how much time that you have to sell because that will determine what you need to sell that time for. All right, it's how the world works. It's how it goes. It's how they figure out how much that that ticket to the ball game cost. It's all based on the amount of seats. Okay, you go to a concert, same kind of a thing. Okay, it's determined on how much that can of peas that you buy at the grocery store costs based on square footage.
It's funny that you keep bringing up peas because you hate peas.
I know, I hate peas. That's what comes to mind. All right. All right. So you got to know this stuff.
Hey,
all right.
Jess.
So there we have it. You got any
Okay.
questions?
I don't have any questions. I think
Hopefully that's clear. What are we selling?
clear. Time.
Time.
Oops.
All right. Not plumbing. It ain't about plumbing. Get rid of that. Okay. It ain't about plumbing. If you want to make it about plumbing, all right.
Oops.
Hey, go be a great plumber. All right. For a plumbing business that understands what they're selling.
Hey, I've got a fan. Thanks,
That'd
Terry.
Be safe. All right.
I'm dropping all the gold nuggets
Yes,
today.
yes. Hey, you know who the boss is, Terry. You know how it goes, man.
You don't see the talking points that he leaves for me, so.
All right. Okay. But if you have your own plumbing business, you got to realize
Gotta
you're
know
selling
that stuff.
time, and you got to be all about time. Okay, or the time's going to be hard for you and your plumbing business.
The meantime.
It'll be mean time.
In the meantime.
Very mean time. Okay, and sadly for a lot of plumbing businesses, it is very mean. Okay.
Doesn't have to be.
But it don't have to be. Exactly. It don't have to be. And it's as simple as knowing what you're selling, time, and how much of it you have to sell.
Right.
All right? Hey,
What?
if you're truly serious about growing your plumbing business, okay,
What?
I'm pushing this at your way because, and yes, I'm pushing this on you because I know it will change your life. I know that it will change your life. The $1 Million Plumber Success Academy, all right?
Okay.
Everything that you need for your plumbing business. We walk you through everything, okay? We start right off figuring out what your honest hourly rate should be, all right? Get into your own flat rate book, okay? It's all laid out there in 12 modules, bite-sized modules, makes it easy to learn so you're not going to be overwhelmed by it. There's a pricing calculator, all right? We have
Live
coaching calls, okay?
Facebook
so we get
group.
Get your questions answered. Yep, private Facebook group. All about teaching the business of plumbing. You will be a plumbing business master. On top of being a master plumber,
That's right.
all right, there's nothing going to stand in your way. And right now, I made it very easy, nothing to stand in your way. It's free, 14-day trial. Just give it a shot. I know you try it, you'll be hooked. That's why you'll be hooked because you need this.
That's right.
All right. All right?
All
So
right,
check it
Jerry.
out. Type success in the comments and go to themilliondollarplumber.com/success. And as always, you were purposely and wonderfully created, and you were created to do great things. So plumb like a champion.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning into Potty Talk Live with Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber. If you enjoyed this show, share it now. To catch past episodes and get alerts for new episodes, type 5 in the comment section now.
Just do it.
And join us again for more tips, techniques, and strategies to help you grow your plumbing business.